Hello everybody and welcome back. In this tutorial we will talk about the difference between log.debug and console.debug and when to use it and what are they for. So let's get started. So in this video we will talk about basically the overview of the client-side scripts, and this is just wanted to mention that this is only a video for client-side script. So if you are doing any debugging for your server side, this will be not applying fully to that. So this is only for client-side script. And so what is the client-side script? It's basically the script that is triggered on the client side. So this is the code that is loaded onto the browser. And so the browser will interact with the user, and based on their input, it will run that script and do certain things based on how a client or user is on the front end talking to NetSuite page. Okay, so this is for the client-side script only. So we will look at the code and we will talk about when to use it and what are the differences between those two. So let's get started. So let's look at the code first before we get into NetSuite. So what I basically have here is I have a simple one function for client script. Is what we're gonna do is based on save record. Once the user clicks saves, it will evaluate one of the fields, and we will just basically check it against one value they're gonna put in, and if it's that one value, we will give an error and prevent the user from saving the record. And if they enter anything else, it will save the record, which is right here, return true. And over here, these are the lines 17 and 18. This is where we're gonna talk about, basically, we'll use the two different log types, console.debug and log.debug, and see what they do for us. Okay, so once you have your code loaded inside of NetSuite and deployed, we will go ahead and start testing. If you have any issues with that, please check out my other videos on how to upload the scripts to NetSuite. So for now, I will show you. So this is my script and script deployment right here. It's in testing mode and it's active. So let's get started. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up an employee record because this is what it applies to. So this is for employee only. So we'll find one employee. I have one already open here, prepared. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click edit. And before I do that, so one of the things we're gonna do is testing two different things. So once you're looking for debugging and you're using a client-side script, one thing you can do is you can debug in the browser itself. And which we're gonna do is we're gonna press function F12. And this is gonna bring that console and source where you can see all the scripts that are currently running on this page. And everything that is also running, like your CSS and styling and everything else that interacts with a client. So we're very be interested in the console right here, and right now you can see there is nothing going on here. So what we're gonna do is we are testing for job title 1 to give an error, and 2 will be good. So we're gonna change this to 1 and hit save. As soon as we hit save, this is when it should trigger our script. And that's exactly what it does. We got an error and it should prevent us from saving. And now, if you see under console, no errors. Well, so this is, when you click on this is not an error message that we're getting. So if you look at our code, we're doing the console.debug and we're just in the debug mode, not in error mode. So if you click on the messages, you will see that right here you get a console job title for this employee. So this is what our code does. And so if you look back to our code, this is what we got. Well, what happened to our log.debug? Well, this is where the difference comes in. And what I wanted to show you, so the console is talking to the console itself, which is right here. That's the actually official word for console, is that you're interacting with the console, with the browser itself. And that's where this error will show up. So where are we gonna see this log.debug? Where does this go? Well, is that even working? Well, that's an interesting part, because this one is talking to a browser and given to the user. And the other one, if we go to the script record, and if we go to execution log and hit refresh, this is where we are logging the log debug. Okay, and so that's very important. So this will be saved to your script. So every time the user will be interacting with this page and getting those errors and run through that code, you will see that inside of your script record on the execution log. While this one is only visible to the console on the user side. So if they're not seeing it, they'll never see it, and you'll never see it. But the other one, you will always see when you go to the record. So depends on what you're using for. So if you're troubleshooting your code and you want to get a quick understanding of your issues with the user, I like to use console.debug because that gives me an interaction really quickly, and I can do that right in my browser. So if I need to see a track of value or anything, I use my console. And if I want to track the, once I upload this code and I'm done pretty much, I like to use that log.debug, so that way I can see the scripts inside of NetSuite later on, and who triggered it, when, what time, and everything. So depends on you using what you're using for. Now, there are different level types of debugs, and we will not talk about that in this video. That will be saved for another time. But for now, this is just a debug mode. And just to give you a quick talk, so these are the console tags. So the console log is logging inside of NetSuite. That's what you should be remembering. The debugs are the mode of your errors, and so there are different types of mode. There's debug, there's error, there's other ones as well, and so we'll talk about those later on and when to use them. So, and if you guys have any comments or suggestions or anything, or if I'm missing anything, let me know. I would like to know, and I will see you next time. Keep on sweating. Thank you for watching.